Guys, welcome back. We've been having some fun audio problems here with this. Hopefully, you're enjoying our playthrough of Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3 on the Super Beard Boy Classic. We're out here. We're chilling. We're grilling. Shout-outs.
Are we grilling?
We're grilling. We're grilling. We're getting grilled by the chat for, the 10 years of questions that they've had burning inside of them that we're going to answer live now. Let's hit the chat. First person to mention something other than the audio, I will answer that question right away. Question from John Appleton. Did you two really try to S your own Ds, as you both admitted during Sucker for Love?
100%.
I asked Jirard if he did at PAX East, and he denied it. Didn't have the Boston balls to admit he tried. Listen. Yes, I goddamn did. I don't care what anybody...
when I was younger, and then again, just to be like, do I have it? Nope.
I gave up.
Now.
I gave up a long time ago. Let me put it that way. I gave it up long ago. But yeah.
You know what? It's a blessing that we can't do it. You know, there'd be no society.
Hey, any word from Dylan? Hey, any word on the SBB game show you guys did the test episode on, and will Davis be a guest on it?
What's the test?
What? Are they talking about something on Patreon maybe that they saw?
Or maybe the famous Jirard Khalil.
Yeah. No, or maybe the show that we might be doing this year for our special week-long celebration. Maybe that. Anyway, there is a cool show coming, and no, Davis is not going to be on it.
It's like you're trying to figure out if a person has seen a plot point without spoiling it, so you have to like talk around it.
Davis is not going to be there. I'll tell you one thing, no spoilers. It's not going to be Davis.
Did you get to that one part in the show where this character does?
Did you
do that one part in the Bible where Jesus goes from, being just a regular guy on the ground to not being as...
I think that happens in Final Fantasy VI. I think that happens in Final Fantasy VI, too. Quatropus asks, where do you keep Mjolnir? Because I look like the fat version of Thor from when he gives up on being a god and starts playing Fortnite with men full of rocks. That's okay. I'll take it. I did dress as him for Halloween. So, got myself. Yeah, I wore it to the Halloween Kills premiere when Ted went as a soulless... Damon with bleeding eyes and didn't speak to anybody for 3.5 hours.
Jesus.
Sat there, watched a movie, spoke to no one, went to the party after the movie with A-list Hollywood celebrities. Dedicatedly played the role of a bloody-eyed ghost man shadow.
Love it.
I just stared at people.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How did we lose so many treasures? What happened?
Oh man. Is SGS going to do an RE4 remake playthrough? Bryce asks. Of course we are. We're already recording it.
We've been recording for 2 weeks, but it is a long game.
Listen, we went to London, and then I got very sick after I got back. So
did Jesse.
Yeah, so it's been...
Me? Healthy as a clam.
Yeah, it's healthy as a clam.
For diabetes.
Who knows how long
ADHD
a clam lasts?
Depression.
Yeah. Who knows how long a clam lasts? Who knows? Who knows how long a clam lasts?
Probably Google.
Isaiah Ortiz says, hey, Alex, I've heard you talk about you making music before, but is there anywhere that I can check that out? My band was called The Squids. Haven't played with them in a long time, but they're still my pals. COVID kind of just wrapped that up. But they did, Tony and Nikki, who were in The Squids, also did all the music for Burger Rush, a show on Super Beard Bros. I mean, they didn't compose the music for Burger Rush, but I stole their music and used it. I asked them, so I didn't steal it, but I had it on my hard drive already, so who stole it? Not me. I already had it.
Can you steal music? I mean, who owns it?
Yeah, really.
For everybody, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a backup. Hempus315 says, hey, Davis, as a fellow type 1 diabetic, do you find yourself ever struggling with your health? Have you ever had high or low blood sugars impact a stream or a shoot?
All the time.
Yeah.
I find it
you're pretty good about making your needs known and taking care of it though.
Yeah, on shoots I something about big shoot days that I just my metabolism is way up, so if I'm not keeping on it, it can get low pretty quickly. What happens more often, but it kind of doesn't happen that much now. I have to wear costumes that didn't have a place for my pump.
Yeah.
So I would just go like a couple hours or whatever without it.
Just unplug.
And then just like
Go
mouth
hands
would get
free.
a little metallic, and I get a little like you just start to get a little bit like
Dead.
You don't know.
A little bit dead.
A little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing that's like ever stopped a shoot or anything. But I also did just cram some chewies
Hell yeah, you got to cram a
before we
chewy.
started.
You got to cram a chewy. Zedinx asks, Alex, is the new 52 pod dead forever? You got me into reading DC Comics. I mean,
You're welcome.
I don't want to call it. I feel like I'm being manipulated by heavy duty language here. Is it dead? It's not dead.
It's hiatus.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I love comic books. I buy a lot of them. I would like to write them off on my taxes. So I'll probably do some sort of project eventually in my life. I really liked making the new 52, but the fans didn't come out of the woodwork or even watch or listen to the show until after I had stopped doing the show for 4 months. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe someday I'll come back to it. But it wasn't the success that a show with 7 hosts that were doing it for free need to have to be regular. So I'll go back to the drawing board on that one. I have some ideas. But now that I've mentioned that, let's talk about a few other projects that are dead that people want me to bring back. Alex, I've been listening to old Star Wars New Canon Book Club and I miss it. Why did you stop and will it come back? Are you dead or are you dying?
Is that what it says?
No, it doesn't. Why did you stop and will it come back? We stopped because we lost enthusiasm for talking about Star Wars. It was just like a fandom that was trying to draw us into the haterade. And so we had to get our love of Star Wars back, we had to take it back to the privacy of our own lives. But never say never. That's what I always say. In another galaxy, in another time, there may be some future for the Star Wars book club. We'll see.
Yeah.
Or the past. John Appleton says, Alex, not a question, but want to say my condolences on having to get that paper cut in Salty Bet's dive bar. That hurt just seeing it. Whoo!
I don't even want to think about it.
What? Wait, what happened?
So we did this show where we were watching Salty Bets, and like to raise the stakes, we were like putting things on the line. And so for one of the matches to up the ante, we did whoever loses gets a paper cut. Right in between the fingers.
No!
Yeah. And I lost.
Why would you do that?
I
Why
was.
can't we just exist? Why can't we raise the stakes by like
It was
hugging
fun.
each other?
It was fine. Like,
and-
I don't know. I don't regret doing it. It hurt, but that was the point. I wasn't like tortured or I didn't do it under duress. I made up the show with Brett, just so
Alright.
everyone knows. People always ask me like, "Why are you torturing Jirard?" It's like we had like a production meeting. I don't know what to tell you.
Everything is always consensual.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel like when I come on the charity streams and they're like, "Oh, now you got to wear a dog cone for an hour." Like, okay.
Oh yeah, some of that is maybe not handled the best.
Well, it's better than when it was dog shot, like the shot collar.
Yeah, I see that.
But
Is Shawn in the chat? Is that what's going on? I see people talking about Shawn.
Little jetpack?
I don't know. Is he in there?
I don't see it.
This is all for Shawn.
This is for Shawn.
This is all for Shawn.
ooh,
So did we give up on the A through O alphabet? We're just trying to get through it now?
wait,
Like
you,
Bennett Foddy?
do you want me to go back and?
No,
I think
no.
we lost.
I'm not
some.
trying to shame you. I'm just asking you where we're at.
Well, I've been getting all of the ones that I can every level,
That's good.
but we skipped like an ice world because that's was gonna like.
Yeah.
I was gonna get to like the last world and then go back and do the ice one.
I get you.
But then I guess we got some game overs, and so they take them away, so I can go
Boy,
find
don't
them again.
overthink it, man. You got this. One thing that I did want to kind of talk about though.
Oh.
What's up with us? No. Like I guess like what I was gonna ask is like what is the vibe with playing video games through? Like it seems pretty straightforward, right? Like it seems like a simple sort of thing. Like especially a game like this, like can you even die in this game? You can, right?
Yeah, you
But
can get game over.
Which
but-
one? 3 is the one where you can't die, right? One of them you can't die.
I think starting with like 2 and 3, you got like in different states that would,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't like die.
Well, but point is, like, I was talking to Kelly about this last night about RPGs, specifically like JRPG type games, huge sprawling games. Like, people say they like them and they're big fans of them, and I don't think they're lying. But they also like they like get the guide and like play through the game with the guide immediately, and they like min-max everything, and they just kind of follow a guide that tells them where to go, and then they've beaten the game like the second or third day it came out and didn't develop like the long love for it that sometimes people do. And all people want to talk about when they talk about games that they love is like all the tricks that they know to like make the game broken. So I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do like when I play through Final Fantasy VIII again. Now I usually like use the guide for stuff. I'm a fan of playing through it the first time guideless and then going in, but so I don't know about like people that start the game with a guide, but I get the idea of like it's like a behind the scenes commentary you read
you're like
yourself.
Appreciating the structure of the game in a way, right? Like you're appreciating the intricacy of the game, but at the same time, like in a way, like a natural playthrough should be like much more sacred than it is. And it's interesting to me. I know that a lot of it's just people in the comments, like not in the comments, but like in the chat. Let's say like when we're like streaming a game on Twitch or something on your private Twitch for your personal channel or whatever, and somebody shows up in the chat and they just want to like tell you how to do everything.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that fandom? Am I like wrong for not wanting to hear that? Am I wrong for like not wanting to do the absolute technical best that I could be doing in favor of learning or experiencing on my own? Something that was designed for me to play with no guide?
I think context matters. Like, if it's just like hey, did you know that if you like do a down attack on a certain type of thing, a certain interaction happens? But when people are like, oh, you got like this is coming up, you gotta do this, and you're like, what? Can you just not say that?
It's like people who want to like max out their time at Disneyland. I understand they're trying to like get the most out of their money, but like, doesn't that seem like a bad relationship to have with the place that's supposed to be relaxing and entertaining? I don't know. Yeah.
None of the rides we wanted.
I don't know. I'm not trying to moralize, right? I'm not trying to moralize against people who choose to play games however they like. That's not the point. The point is just like, what? Like, what is a video game? So it's so different than a movie. It's just a little way to think about how different a game is than a movie. Certainly not trying to make generalizations. I'm just saying there are people out there that are this way. I've seen them. I've been in the games industry for a long time. I've talked to every type of gamer, and those are the type. That's a type that I see. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I definitely like was a like guides are for children. I guess is the safest way to say what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like I should be able to get through anything, and then at some point I was just like, sometimes give it a community college try, and then if I can't figure it out, look up what's going on.
Why have people then? Like, when you're at home hanging out with your friends, like the only thing that you want to do when you're hanging out with a friend playing a video game is like look up the guide for them and tell them how to get through it. Like, you don't ever just want to like hang out. You don't ever want to like just vibe out in the game and like learn.
In that context, because I've done that, where like looking up, helping somebody with like a thing that they're doing can make it more interactive.
If it's like a welcome activity that you both naturally agreed upon in a conversation, like, you know what I mean? Like, not like you start playing and then a guy sees you're playing through the window and then walks up to the side of the house and like is like, hey, did you know that if you crouch right here, you'll get the best weapon in the game a little faster? It's actually a puzzle that you learn towards the end of the game, but if you do it now, you can just get it. Stuff like that. It's like, it's not the same as like my friend having a special experience with me.
This, I think, a similar energy, and I apologize if I've talked about it before, but like a thing, because I play a lot of competitive games, my least favorite thing in the world is people that just look up the meta and then try to execute the meta instead of like learning or like having fun with it and doing what like excites them from a like a different level rather than just like,
Yeah.
oh well, this performs better 40% of the time.
It's weird, like, to think that a video game, what actually happens in a video game, because you input, you're in control, you experience it from like a active place. Like what you bring to playing the game like affects what happens. Unlike a movie, like the movie plays out the same every time. You might feel differently about it, but the actual events of the movie happen the same.
Yeah, a movie, like the most you can do, which can still have a very different effect, is like you go tired, you go in an altered state, you have a phone and you're not really paying attention, but other than that, you don't really like, the movie is the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not trying to, like I say, I'm not trying to moralize. I'm not trying to say, oh, they're backseat gaming, or they're like...
I'll moralize. Don't just look up the meta and just do it. Like,
but is that necessarily... Like, who the fuck cares what anybody does, right? It's just weird. It's just weird to think about that some people are like... It's how I feel about people who, like, buy a bunch of shit when they buy their cell phone. I'm like, I don't understand, like, you just bought the cell phone. Shouldn't the cell phone, like, be its own thing? Like, you don't need to, like, buy, like, other products, like, because you're a...
wait, what about the case?
That's what I mean. Like, you're, like, especially, like, a dumbass, so you need, like, a case. Like, it's, like, I don't know, like, it's like a weird thing. Like, you've been convinced that there's other parts of owning the phone. Like, you could just take care of the phone and not put it in a case. I don't know.
You don't have any phone cases?
I do have phone cases. I'm just saying, like, there's something about the mentality of it that's weird to me. There's something about, like, it should come with a case if it needs a case. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't love that I have to buy a case, but...
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to buy a case. I've had several phones where I didn't break the phone and I never had a case. I bought a case this time because I thought it looked nice. But...
I will say, I did that with my latest phone, the Pixel one that I have, and I'm like, I've never, ever, like, dropped it or needed a case. It's just extra bulk. And then the poor design of this thing, it kept, didn't I tell you, it kept, like, falling off. It would, like, jump itself off of objects because it was designed insanely. Yeah. Then I got one, because I'm like, all right, well, it's fallen on my floor, like, 9 times. So.
Yeah, I vibe with that.
I only bought this because I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, that's a fine reason. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a case either. Like I say, I'm not moralizing. I literally have a case on my phone. It's just a thought that I'm having that doesn't mean anything about your way you're living your life. It doesn't pass judgment on you. I'm just bringing it up as a conversation point. The thing about looking up meta is that someone else will have already done that before you, so it's not a free win. I mean, sure, but would you rather have the doctor operate on you who went to medical school or the one who learned how to do just your surgery on YouTube today? You know,
well, also,
you know what I mean?
Like, my problem with it isn't necessarily that, like, it allows them to win. I have, like,
it doesn't allow
friends
them to win. It just makes you a worse athlete.
No, but I've like played with groups of friends that obsess over a meta, and it ruins the experience because they're like, if you're not doing this, and it's like, well, I'm sure if you are one of the best players in the world, it matters, but none of us are that. So, like, it's ruining our experience, your hyperfixation on the meta.
It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I know that some people really enjoy that, but to me, that's more like you're doing an activity using a game as like a writing prompt for your own like activity, right? You're not really like letting the game unfold to you. You're kind of like reading to the end, right? And kind of like thinking about the end of the book the whole time that you're reading it or something. I don't know. Just something interesting. Something interesting about that. Go buy a Dragon Quest case for your phone. No. It's probably going to be...
Let's get a slime phone.
It's going to be expensive. There could be a Dragon Quest case that I might buy for my phone, but to be real, I don't put a lot of branding on myself. Like, I don't really like buy a lot of like... It's like my own shirt.
I guess,
on a Beard Bros
you
stream.
put your own...
I'm not like... I don't like... Yeah.
The flight attendants love that on the flight to
Super Beard Bros?
London. Just the merch.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I just mean like I don't like buy a lot of like, oh, I like this thing, so I'm gonna like buy a thing of it. I just usually buy like brown or olive drab. You know what I mean? I don't really go like
shit.
I'm not like, it's not gonna be on my plate to be like, oh, I'm getting wedding rings. I should get like Lord of the Rings brand wedding rings. Like, I just don't think like that. I don't want like some brand in my.
You don't want the Ring of Power?
I just don't want like some brand affiliated with my like life brand. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. It's not my. It's my thing. I'm not saying it's immoral to do that. It's just there's some people who love brands and love putting brands on things, and I just don't.
I have like 9 pieces of In-N-Out.
I have In-N-Out stuff
Wearable
too.
merch.
But it has to look good. That's the thing. Having something that I like on my stuff is like not enough of a reason.
Where is this? Did we pass the door? I was just so caught up in the meta talk that.
I don't know. We're talking about the meta of like Wario Land. Like, I just think it's remarkable to be playing a game without trying to do everything in the game.
I do
It's tight.
get
It's tight.
coming from like a place where if I didn't like if I died a lot or whatever, I get like frustrated, and then actually through our friendship, learning the like power of that, like learning, and really from software games, like being good is like wrong. Like you just
Right.
telling like winning all the time so that you tell yourself is good is like fake. It's not
Yeah.
even real.
like beating games without like playing them.
being bad at it and sticking with it and beating it is like
That's
truly a sign of something, and it's like an addictive. Now it's like I want a game that I like want to be challenged by and feel.
Or that I just like, when I play it, I enjoy myself. Right? Like, just to even be even simpler, it's like that has to be also good. That has to be like a positive.
I'm right there literally last night I'm at the end of Mega Man Battle Network, and the last boss is BS, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like
Beat it.
clearly I have to like I'm trying to like force it with my strategy instead of learn like how to beat it. So I like left the main zone. I like went back all the way back to the town, and I'm like, I'm gonna retrain. Like I'm gonna just try different chip combos. I'm gonna like relearn. Where is this?
Yeah, maybe you just don't know how to do it, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I could figure this out as a kid. Like I can figure it out as an adult. I just keep trying to force my like current chipset,
yeah,
and it's not working.
exactly.
So I gotta like.
You got to reprogram yourself, and that's not just Mega Man.
That's life.
That's live.
Dude, do you remember
That's what
the
all
twist
people say.
at the end of Mega Man Battle Network 1? Shit, where is this thing?
Turns out you're all just in the Matrix. I don't remember the twist. Is it that? Are you all just in the Matrix?
Where is this? We could be. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the hell. Is it all the way back up here?
Is it down?
Oh, dude. Can this be done? 40 seconds.
I think 40 seconds is longer than you think it is.
Oh, you're counting it during this? It's counting down on the animation?
Don't worry about it. You got plenty of time. You're free.
Yeah, but if I die, I have to redo
Nah,
this.
you got plenty of time. 30 seconds is like a million years.
It's like 30 seconds.
Dude, in relation to what, man?
It's the time.
6 million.
Come on, 30 seconds is like a million years. Come on. Battle Network is an excellent game. Really like the battle system in that game.
It is. I love the battle system. I think they make it easier to get chips or like the right ones that you want
In the new game?
in the later ones.
In the new version, they like added like a beat the game easily mode like they do with all those old RPGs.
I just like I know what I want to try to get, but to farm like I was looking up like where these chips drop, and it's like it's insane trying to like spending like an hour and a half, and I haven't even gotten one of the things that I want. It's like
Yeah.
okay, all right. Well, now we know where it is.
Yeah. And we don't really have to get it anyway. We don't want.
Oh, we got a Bradley in the chat.
Bradley!
A Bradley or like the Bradley?
Bradley!
Maybe both. Oh yeah, definitely the Bradley.